I was in Paris, in the doctor place, and I was reading, you know, this kind of magazines. And there is one famous that's called Paris Match, and there was some picture of this woman working with the train with a lot of people on the top of the train. And I said, wow, it looks incredible. And I had the opportunity to go to Mexico, and I made some research, and I found some people who were working with them in Mexico. And I write them, yeah, I'm an independent filmmaker, and maybe I'll have the opportunity to come in Mexico. Do you think it would be possible to have a contact with this person? And they told me, yes, of course, come and we'll manage to get you there. And it was very easy, and made very nice person, and they helped me they contact Norma, and I took the bus and arrived there and started to film the first day. And it's very different of the official. I mean, when I used to study documentary, we were a lot talking about the writing of part of the documentary thing. And in France, we're still a literary country. So we like papers, we like scripts, we like these kind of things. So it's not, you're not supposed to do like this in the official way, but sometimes you have to. So I started shooting the first days, and I only stayed 10 days with them. That is very short, but we had very good contact. And I don't know if I can develop a bit, but in the way of filming, they were used to have some journalists. So the 2 or 3 first days, they were explaining me everything, always talking, always tell me, this is the place where we make food, and that's how we are doing. And I'm not, well, usually I don't say to people, no, you don't talk to me anymore, and you do your stuff, and you don't, because I always imagine that something will happen while they are talking to me, so I don't say this kind of thing, and I'm waiting to get some interesting thing. And I had a lot of interesting things, but in the edition part, it's been a few films that I always cut out all these parts, and to have only these direct cinema scenes that we had in the film. For example, on this, I'm not the first person to film them, and I'm not the last one. There are other films that talking about this group of women. It's not a scoop. My film is not a scoop, but in the other film, they usually in the 2 or 3 first minutes of the film, you have understood everything, and you're only living again, watching again what you have already understood. And so I think it's interesting, but in the informative way, but not in the emotional way, to work like this. And I'm more working on the sensation, the feeling, than on the information. And this is, for the moment, the way I choose in my films, not to give context, permits to the spectator to enter in another way, and to have another kind of apprehension of the characters of the film person. And that's what I was telling yesterday. More like only human being watching human being. It could be me on the screen. I'm not watching somebody from. I don't put etiquettes, and etiquettes give, I think, this kind of distance, and it's like a mental process. This person lives in another country, in another culture, so we're not so close. But when you don't have this element, you just watch this person like a person like you. It could be your mother or somebody. in your family, somebody in your, and it creates a link between, that's what I'm working for, create a link between the spectator and the filmed person. And that creates emotion, I hope. Well, I told you this film is particular because I didn't took a long time in the shooting place, and only passed, I think, 10 days. And I remember I had around 30 hours of shooting, and I was shooting every train. Because I didn't know where the train, so it was the most important for me to get this moment. I knew that the film will be organized around this important moment. And the train, when is arriving, you cannot miss it. I mean, even when you're shooting, I was in the same dynamic than they were, and I had to take the decision and not thinking, yeah, we'll do this kind of. I have to make the choice now and to keep it. And yeah, that was. And I think I used mostly all the trains that I could film. They are in the film. But for an example, to get back to the emotional problem, emotional topic, we wanted that the train were going crescendo, and so in the film there are two important train moments. There are more, but two very important. The first one when you understand that they are giving, and the second one to leave the moment. Now you have all the elements, informative elements, so now you can take the scene really in all these elements, really, because you have understood everything now, so you can leave it. You can leave the scene really. And the first scene was longer than it is now in the film, in the edition process, because the train was longer and there were more migrants, and it was more emotional. But it was the first, and we wanted that the second one take this, because if you had this emotion so strong, you wouldn't have it in the second time. So we have to, so we cut out some very good moments of the first train, but we did it for the emotion of the second one. I don't know if you understand. And I think this is the most complicated thing for us filmmakers, to accept to cut out some very good moments. You can have very good scenes, but they will not serve the film. They will not help the film. They will, and this is one of the defaults, the problem that I've seen in young filmmakers in first film, because they want to keep everything. And of course, everything, if you took out of the film, is great, but in the continuity, it doesn't work so well. That's